Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show where we may not agree with what you say, but we will defend to death your right to say it. This is the Great Debaters Contest Season 8, Mombasa region. I am your host, Esperancia Kapanga.
And I am Chris Buru. The bone of contention between our intellectual teams today is academic performance is the best indicator of potential for a successful life.
In the proposition, we have St. Charles Lwanga High School.
And in the opposition, we have Ribe Boys High School. Number one, you have 3 minutes to present your case.
Success is not for the chosen few, but for the few who chose to succeed. Ahmed Mahmoud from St. Charles Lwanga Secondary School, ready to propose the motion that says academic performance is the best indicator of potential for a successful life. First and foremost, what is the meaning of academic performance? This refers to the excellence or achievement of somebody with regards to the subjects. Best, outstanding quality. Indicator, something that marks the level of somebody or something. Potential refers to the current unrealized ability. Then successful achievements of somebody or one's goals. Why did I say some words from the beginning? If you were so keen enough, when we stepped our foot into this building, we saw those writings on the wall. Why do they write it? What is the main reason for them writing such quotes on the walls? To foster academic performance, because they know that this is the vital, this is the main core for a successful life. Secondly, we all know about the sponsorships programs. Various sponsorship programs have been formed and organization. For example, Wings to Fly for Equity Bank, KCB, and other banks, for example, Family Bank. Why do they form it? To sponsor able students, but the main core is academic performance. For example, the Wings to Fly offer sponsorship to students at KCSE level and also KCPE level. For you to get 350 marks, then you'll be able to acquire that. But I have failed, so I will not be able to get a sponsorship, even if I have other reasons for getting a successful life. This means that academic performance is the main core for a successful life. Third, let me ask you a question. Why do you go to school? Why do you go to school? Obviously, we come to school to learn so that you can acquire the knowledge and skills. This correlates with academic performance. That's why we're able to succeed in life. And that's the reason why you're wearing that uniform now. You got that? That is the reason why we are wearing that uniform now and why we go to school. To add more, victories aren't born on the field. You create them during practice. That's what I have to leave for you today. Thank you. I rest my case.
You have 3 minutes to present your case.
Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. Now, do school choices and school grades determine success? I want some successful icons like Richard Branson, Bill Gates, Evan Williams, college dropouts. Now, should we also consider the millions of young people in the outside world who have not acquired academic qualifications to be automatically failures? Food for thought. Albert Einstein once said that everybody is a genius, and if you judge a fish with its ability to climb a tree, it will live its own life, believing it's stupid. Ladies and gentlemen of the house, my name is John Chiwai from Ribe Boys High School, opposing the motion that says academic performance is the best indicator of potential for a successful life. Academic performance, this is the extent to which a student or a teacher has achieved the short or long-term education goals. Best, it means of the most excellent type of quality indicator. This is something that indicates the state or level. Potential, it means that can develop into something. Successful means accomplishing a desired aim. Life, This is the existence of an individual. Now, according to the International Education Monitoring Trust, 85% of students who graduate from Harvard University, it's only 45% of them who become successful. Now, I ask, where does the 40% go? Yet they graduated with good grades. Success depends on personality and motivations. Thomas Edison, who was the greatest inventor in history, was born in Illinois in 1879. As a child, Thomas Edison was believed to be dumb, and his mind often wandered in class. Now, at the age of 16, he dropped out of school so that he may work on his project. He was the master of trial and error, and when he was asked about his success, he said, and I quote, "I've not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work, school included." Good thing that the greatest inventor of history did not listen to teachers. Now, spoon feeding in the long run does not teach us. Spoon feeding in the long run teaches us nothing but the shape of the spoon. The irony in this life is that some of the students who get C's in high school employ even the brightest brains who get A's, straight A's. William Henry Gates was born on October 28, 1955. He was an American business inventor, humanitarian entrepreneur, and principal founder of Microsoft. In 1973, Bill Gates was admitted in Harvard University, but he dropped out 2 years later. But in 1989, Bill Gates and Allen launched Microsoft, the largest PC software company. And at the age of 31, Bill Gates was a self-made billionaire. Now, with evidence like that, I ask, do academic performance indicate success in life? As many as of my opinion say aye. As many as of the contra opinion, I rest my case.
Teresa, you have 3 minutes for cross-examination.
My name is Dorothy Kisilu from St. Charles, Lwanga. First, when my colleague started, he said, success is not for the chosen few, but for the few who choose to succeed. You've seen that Thomas Edison dropped out of school. This is because it was his choice. If he could have wanted to succeed, then he could have made it. If he made it in life, why couldn't he have made it in academic life? The most beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you. Is that true? Yes, it is. Talent. Some students drop out of school because they say, I can sing. Yes, nobody has refused that. But now look, footballers who can play football. Life is full of mysteries and life is uncertain, just like the weather. Tomorrow, you get hit by a car. Tomorrow, someone takes that ability of you to play football. There are only words that I can tell you, you are doomed. People who have excelled in academic performance have a wide range to choose from, and most likely what career they will pursue. You can be a doctor if you study. You can be an engineer. You can choose, and you can do what you want passionately. And we know that with passion, we succeed. With passion, you do everything fine. Just as my school motto says, strive for success. My teachers every day tell me that to succeed in life, you have to strive. Nothing comes on a silver platter. You have to work hard for it. Then again, what do your parents tell you every morning that you go to school? When they see that you have got passion of singing, and then you are not good, performing well in class. Oh, my daughter, you know what? If you can't, school life is hard, then drop. No. Your parent emphasizes and tells you, work hard. Because they know that there's a significance to working hard in school. You manage your jobs. Just look at artists like Sinaipei, a singer who has sung Chaguo la Moyo Wangu by Otile Brown. Yes, she is trained as a pharmacist of Kenya in the Kenya Medical Training College. She did study, but also she pursued what her heart desired. So I strongly propose the motion saying that academic performance is the best indicator for potential for a successful life. I rest my case.
Lisa, you have 3 minutes for cross-examination.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so allergic to the rumors these protagonists are spreading in this room. Well, guys, let me say this. One time, sitting in Hotel Intercontinental in Nairobi, I received 2 professors from the University of Nairobi. And do you know what they told me? Do you think academic performance is the best indicator for a successful life? And I had a simple answer for them, ladies and gentlemen. I told them no, a very big no. And as the old adage goes, if knowledge is power, then librarians could rule the world. Listen, guys, this is Mlewa Emmanuel Karema from the Ribe Boys High School, and I stand here as an antagonist of this motion. Let me start by first saying, the first protagonist from the proposal side, that is, said about the courts in this school. Now, let me ask you a simple question. Are these courts in this school meant for all the students? If that was the case, then there will be no student who scores a C. There might be a court in a school, but the big question here is, are these students, all the students following this court? Is it every student who gets an A in high school? You should ask yourself that question from that point of view. I'll talk about the family banks, the equity banks. You told us about that equity banks sponsors those students who do well in high school. But I want to tell you this. Now, there's some students who score very high marks in the examination, and they're given sponsorship in equity bank, in family bank. But I want to ask you a question here. Is it that all these students who are given a sponsorship perform well in the examination? There are many students who have been given sponsorship, but in the long run, they end up even dropping out of school. But I want to ask you now, is academic performance the best indicator for successful life? That's the question you're supposed to ask yourself. Listen, if I were to offer you 50 cents, not actually 50 cents, a penny for your thoughts, then I'll still get balance. Because you've tried to show us that you've not understood the emotion. I think you'll go back to the drawing board and look it afresh. I want to talk about entrepreneurship. One might be having entrepreneurship skills, and he can use them to be successful in life. I'll call this man by the name Njenga Karume. I think I really love this man because he's my dad's employer. He has employed my dad for 30 years, my blood dad. And this guy never performed well in his studies. Njenga Karume, one of the multi-billionaires in this country. But look now, he has hotels, Jacaranda Hotel. He has Indian Ocean Beach Resort in Ikunda. He has Elementaita Lodge. And he never performed well in his studies. Now, can we say that academic performance is the best indicator for successful life? If Njenga Karume himself never performed well, and yet in the long run, he became one of the multi-billionaires in this country. I'll not stop there, guys. There's this thing called critical thinking. Are you a critical thinker? Can you sit down and come up with something? Is it a must for you to get a grade A, for you to think? I'll give you an example of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs attended Reed College in Portland, Oregon. He dropped out of school. Steve Jobs. He never completed his studies. He never even got that degree. But in the long run, he's one of the most successful people in this world. He's the co-founder of Apple. As I finish, let me say this, guys. I'm not a politician, and nor can I stand to hold such lofty tags. I brook no pretension, and I believe a simple life suffices me. I have the same apprehension about tomorrow, and I believe the words that I've spoken are going to strict extinct into you, and more supreme matters shall reign. And by then, I'll spoken my word. Again, this is Mlewa Emmanuel Karema from the Ribe Boys.
The proposers have been asked, after awarding of scholarships to the students based on their academic performance, what is the guarantee that they will actually still succeed in life? Opposers have been asked, with regards to Bill Gates, who executed his idea? Was it people who had attended school and were good academically or not? Proposer number 3, you have 3 minutes to respond.
My name is Dorothy Ayugi from St. Charles, Lwanga. And I'm here to strongly propose the motion that states academic performance is the best indicator of potential for a successful life. A question was asked that does it mean anybody who is offered a scholarship succeeds in life? Of course, yes. Before one is offered a scholarship, he or she must be good in performance. He or she must be at the top in performance. So, he or she will have an aim of achieving something in life. Hence, being sponsored or given the chance to learn will make him to earn more in a life. Meaning, if anyone is sponsored and he or she has made a choice, or he or she is focused in achieving something in life, yes, the person succeeds. In March 2018, the Kenyan bill was read, and we find that the education sector allocated large proportion to education schools. Why do you think the government can spend such fund to sponsor education? Why? It's because they want to eliminate illiteracy in our societies. And after all, how will they differentiate those who are illiterate from those who are literate? It's by the certificates they get. I would like to use a good example. I hope all of you here are one day hoping to be employed, professionally employed. And some of us here are also employed, professionally employed. What are the requirements when you go to seek for a job? Academic performance. The academic documents are the first things that you are asked. Then the others will follow. All the talents will follow. But what is being asked? What is really being asked? The academic performance. To get a promotion in a business or any organization or any institution, what do they really ask for? What do they really consider, if not academic performance? Coming to conclusion, I'd like to state that if I can only control my own performance, I can only control my own performance if I do my best, then feel good at the end of the day. Some people believe in inheritance. They believe that, oh, my dad is rich. My father has got cars. My uncles are rich. Oh, my uncle is a lawyer. Then what next? All their belongings will be mine. But how? How will you manage all the wealth without the skills of management? How? Where do you acquire the knowledge of managing them? If not in schools. If not acquiring education from schools. If not being at the top in academic performance. I strongly stand and propose the motion that states academic performance is the best indicator of potential for a successful life. And academic is the best. Academic performance is the best. I insist, is the best indicator for success in life. Thank you.
You have 3 minutes to respond to your question.
I remember one time I was reading a quote that stated, with determination and altitude, everything is possible. This is just because, altitude is everything, and altitude can take you to the top. But it will only take character for it to take you there. And you can only be a good character if your conduct is good. Not necessarily education. And if only you just think that education is the only best indicator for success in life, then why didn't the people working with Bill Gates invent the idea first just because they were truly valedictorians of the universities? And that is why he brags in a certain quote and says, I read everything in the universities, but then got nothing, to an extent that I had to drop out of the universities. But nowadays, the top students of the universities are all my employees. I can afford to pay them all, but none of them can afford to pay me. Sorry, valedictorians. Your success means very little in the real world. Success is not really necessarily that you should be having academic excellence. It's all about your ambitions and destinations. If someone is having ambitions and destination, I've got to do this and this in this world before departing, then of course you'll find a better way of inventing that idea of yours. Not necessarily that you must have education. No. Just because you're having the ambitions that I have to do this, then you can actually come up with the best way of attaining it. And that is why John Combe, he had a passion that I have to do something in this world before I leave. But then he was a failure. He failed over and over again to an extent that he had to drop out of the St. Joseph State University just because he found that he was wasting the finance of his parents that they've been saving for their entire life. So he decided to stop learning. And he went to get a job at Yahoo, where he was only working at system security and infrastructure engineering. Then at 2009, when he had some money, he decided to go back for his idea. I have to do something in this world before departing, no matter my knowledge. And that is when he invented WhatsApp in 2009. And immediately got 450 million subscribers. Just tell me, how much was this person earning? And currently, as we are talking right now here, we are having 1 billion daily active users of WhatsApp. Just tell me, how about earning 1 shilling from each and every person, almost the whole world? You're becoming rich, man. We can get back to leadership skills. Some people, if only we happen to check properly, then many of the quoted leaders, the true leaders who made the greatest achievements, you will find that many of them were very lousy students in class. What am I trying to mean? The Vice President Joe Biden, President George Bush, the likes of the former Secretary of the President of the United States, John Kerry, were very mediocre at the best in matters pertaining to education. But then they ended up making long, prestigious performance in matters pertaining civil service. Not just because they had the knowledge, no. Just because they knew the best way to organize themselves. They knew what to do, when to do it, and how to do it when they do it in the best way possible. And that is why they're that much successful. Not just because of education. I'm Dennis Katana. Let's drive our attention off education. Thank you.
Proposers, you have 1 minute to make a final submission.
My name is Dorothy Kisilu. Well said. They make billions of money. But why do they employ academic people? Why do they need us in the field of works? Why? That is the question I'll ask you. Then, education is key. Key to what? Key to your house? No. Key to success. That is why I'm strongly proposing this motion, saying that education is the best indicator. There might be other indicators, but listen to me. There might be all other indicators, but the best of them all is academic performance. If he has, a lot of money, but why does he need me? He needs my brain. He needs me to come and calculate those budgets for him. I rest my case.
Proposers, you have 1 minute to make a final submission.
Formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. I do not have much faith in academics, but I have much faith in people. If we continue moving down this road, the results will be little. I know that math is important, but not more than art, not more than talent, not more than entrepreneurship, not more than the skills we acquire, not more than our creativity. Academics, education is killing originality. Study without desire spoils the memory, and it retains nothing in it. And this is exactly what happens when we look at academic performance. I like to finish by saying that when a lizard decides to put on a trouser, he knows where the tail will be. I told you. And just like Pontius Pilate in the Bible, I wash my hands. And if my God asks me, I'll tell him that I told you that academic performance is not an indicator. I rest my case.
Academic performance is the best indicator. Best indicator. That was a very key term there in that motion of potential for a successful life. That simply means then the best way to debate this, if you're proposing, is to look for a case, then tell us, all right? Tell us of an example, someone who went through this noble academic life, was very good in terms of performance, and now we're seeing him as a very successful person, all right? And probably even people predicted that he'll be successful, and at the end of it all, he did that. Are there examples? Yes, there are. So I think you should have really done that. And probably even your way of defining successful life could have been different in a way to help you out, okay? But that was good.
Ribe boys, we had a good start by Chiwai, good submission with quotes. Again, relevant examples, well validated, quite convincing. Especially the irony that in life where we have students who don't do so well in school become now the ones who employ those who are outstanding in school. Again, Emmanuel, you have a powerful voice. The rebuttal, however, did not come out clear. But your submissions were good. Like, for example, the example of Njenga Karume not having done very well in school, but he became a successful businessman in the hotel industry. That was good submission. Dennis, good mastery of content.
On the motion, you are able to quote the successful people in life who did not make it in school, but they were, however, became successful. Again, good submissions on the side.
Ladies and gentlemen, the defining moment. Saint Charles Lwanga. The judges saw it fit to award you 67%. Let's give them a round of applause. Ribe Boys High School. The judges gave you a well-earned 71.8%. Congratulations. To all the debaters, do remember whether good, better, or the best, do not rest until your good becomes better and your better becomes the best.
Esperanza, you could not have said it better. Remember, the debate may be over, but the conversation still continues across our social media platforms with the hashtag GDC for SDGs. We'd also like to challenge each and every school to take up the SDG challenge by implementing at least one sustainable development goal so as to make their schools and their communities a better place.
Here at the Great Debaters Contest, we also appreciate everyone who makes this show a success, starting from the participating schools, principals, patrons, students, and our sponsors, Blaze by Safaricom and Brand Kenya Board, for making this possible. That's it for today. I have been your host, Esperanza Kapanga.
And until the next episode, I am Chris Bor. Stay tuned.